My Adventures of Superman, Season 2, Episode 9. Talk about an absolute beautiful semi-episode preparing itself for a peak finish. So we get to see what's going on in this dimension that Clark is stuck inside of, and something I forgot to mention last episode was Lois ended up putting the helmet on herself to go and try and get Clark. But the simulation is pretty much Brainiac pretending to be Clark's parents, which is like this whole confusion thing that he doesn't really understand and he's living it out. Lewis, on the other hand, is trying to get to Clark to try and speak to him. But it seems every time she would get near him, the parents of Kal-El would erase her, and she would just start over back where she began this whole entire experience. It takes her countless times, and it seems more and more she starts to learn. Eventually, she goes into this hiding spot, and it takes a confession of love for Clark to finally understand it's Lewis. And it really comes for her doing something crazy like going to get that rocket ship. Overall, everything about this was just so beautifully done. The music, the romantical part of it, Lewis actually trying to help Clark out. She even gets to fight. Because in the simulation, she's able to have some sort of Superman type of powers. They're able to fend off as a couple. They even escape, basically punching out of a skybox, and it's just great. Like I said, this was amazing. Now to the next part. This is where Kara has her turnaround, which technically happens in between the whole simulation stuff. During all this, Lois Lane was still out in the dimension trying to go and get Clark, but what we get to see is the ship with Jimmy and Kara, as well as the two others. They come back to Earth to try and hit up some people on Flamebird, and Jimmy is sort of the person that converts Kara in a sense. Like, right as we were trying to have a moment, this is when Amanda Waller puts up a big attack and cuts the ship in half. They land on Earth, and Kara gets kryptonited, and basically everyone gets arrested on the spot. They're going to be going to the prison, but we do get an unexpected hero of this episode. It's technically the whole news team, W. Perry, but Steve ends up backdooring Kara, Jimmy, as well as Lois Lane's body, and it's just like, man, I love Steve. Okay, between all this, I'm not gonna lie, some things get a little fuzzy. All we need to know is Brainiac comes for the attack, and it's hectic. Superman was technically still under control of Brainiac at this moment. Like I said, the timelines that I'm kind of putting out here, they're all over the place. At the end of the day, finally, Superman gets his bodies back. We have, like, Lex Luthor come out of nowhere with his robots. They all have kryptonite. Kryptonite was used, and sort of we get to see Kara as well as Superman fend off Brainiac's laser beam attacks. It's crazy because we're pretty much at the moment of the finale. Superman had his moments, Kara had her moments, and this is when we get to see Brainiac put on this kryptonite shield because Lex Luthor was doing this whole thing with the whatever the Project M was, with the kryptonite. He was bringing it out, and Brainiac ends up putting out his own droids that take over his robots. And this is where we get to see both Kara and Superman shot down. And now with the control of those robots, he is currently attacking Brainiac is. So we gotta see how they get out of this because both of our heroes are down for the count. Sorry, I feel like I went a little too in depth on this. I was like really getting down to it, but I am definitely into this series, and I'm so excited to see how season 2 ends, as well as what's to come for season 3. With all that, I rate this episode a 9.5. Absolutely everything you want. It almost feels like a finale, but it sets itself up for a ultra big final episode of the season. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are on My Adventures of Superman Season 2, Episode 9. Hope you guys stay safe. And until next time, peace out, guys.